right, Gila monster story for you guys. I work in a prison, as you know, and it's a minimum custody facility, and they also all know, the staff, the inmates, everybody, they all know that I run a rescue. And so I regularly get asked to take in cats, dogs, whatever. This inmate came up to me one day as I was walking around on the yard, and he had a box in his hand, and he said, Miss Reefer, he said, I know you love animals. He goes, I found this animal for you. And I said, what is it? And he said, it's a lizard. And I was like, oh my Lanta, what am I going to do with a lizard, right? And he goes, I don't want anybody to hurt it. And I said, okay, that's fair, because some guys are idiots, right? So I take the box, I open it up, and there's a Gila monster in there. And I looked at the guy, and I was like, this is attempted murder. What are you trying to do to me? I said, you know I'm clumsy. I said, the thing's going to bite me, and it's over, right? Because they're venomous of sorts. It's my understanding that their bite contains a lot of bacteria, and you get really sick, and you end up in the hospital on all kinds of antibiotics and all kinds of stuff. And I don't know the technicalities, so if anybody out there has more experience with Gila monsters, correct me, please, on the exact whatever it is that they have, right? But at any rate, I then call David, and I'm like, I'm bringing a Gila monster home. And he's like, you will not bring a Gila monster home. And I was like, okay. So a couple of the other guys out there helped me tape up the box, and I'm coming home with it. And I tell David, I'm like, I'm so scared of my passenger right now. He goes, if your passenger is a Gila monster, you need to get rid of it right now. What are we going to do with the Gila monster? And I said, well, we have to call Arizona Game and Fish, and they have to come and relocate it, because you're not supposed to move Gila monsters. But I couldn't leave it on the prison yard, because either it was going to get hurt, or even worse, they were going to just, some idiot was going to get bit, right? So I ended up pulling over just south of the prison yard and letting him out. And I took a couple of pictures of him first. I will add them here. But it was pretty cool, but also a little unnerving. So, yeah, Gila monsters. Tell me your stories about crazy, wild animals that you shouldn't have had any contact with. And correct me if I'm mistaken on the Gila monster.